So here's my message to all the people that are crying and complaining about Ohio State dominating the recruiting landscape in college football right now. Don't be a sore loser, okay? That's what it is. Ohio State's dominating within the rules, and you're crying and complaining. That's a sore loser. So we got an interesting topic on our hands here for your Friday. And oh yeah, by the way, happy Friday. Hope all of you had a great and fantastic Friday and great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Let me ask each and every single one of you a question. Is there a better way to cap off your week than a college football video? I don't think so. You can't beat it, man. You can't beat it. And also, y'all should be looking forward to this weekend because I know we don't have college football, but we got some college basketball and also the NFL playoffs. And I'm going to be let this known right now. Lamar Jackson, please. And I mean, please save us. You know what we need saving from, okay? If you know, you know. I'm not explaining it. Lamar Jackson, my man, please, just please, we need you. I think it's safe to say everybody this weekend, we're Lamar Jackson fans, Baltimore fans, and also we're Detroit Lions fans. Everybody's got to be going for the Lions and Ravens. At least that's what I assume. Those are going to be some awesome games, man. And you know what? I'll give you my quick prediction real quick here. And then we're getting straight into our one main topic we're about to get into with Ohio State. These are tough games to pick, really tough. And I want the Lions to win, but I'll take the 49ers in that one and the Ravens and, I'm drawing a blanket. Yeah, the Ravens and Chiefs, my bad. Give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. And I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section. Who are y'all rocking with this weekend? Enough of that, though. We got to get a move on to the college football stuff. And it feels like we've talked about Ohio State a lot recently. We're just going to get straight into this. So a couple days ago, we made a video where we was talking about how Ohio State, they spent, according to the reports, already $13 million on players. This includes guys in the transfer portal like Will Howard, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Downs, and Julian Sand, and etc. And of course, your high school recruits go in there as well. But the part of this that I didn't even think about until we made that video is Ohio State is also paying the guys not to go to the NFL and to come back. So, for example, we talked a lot about this. Emeka Egbuka, their star wide receiver. He could have went to the draft, and more than likely, he'd have been a second, third-round pick. But instead of him going to the draft, Ohio State was like, wait a minute. Hold on. How about we do this? They proposed to him, why don't you do this? You come back, you can develop more, and you can improve your draft stock. And also, while you're doing that, we'll give you some money. And to make a long story short here, he goes, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Let's do it. Let's run it back. So boom, right there alone, you got Emeka Egbuka coming back. And I'd argue and say that's just as important, if not more than important, than getting a five-star recruit. Actually, no. I'd say it's more important because a five-star recruit's not going to play immediately as a freshman unless it's a guy like Caleb Downs or Minkah Fitzpatrick. And when I say play right away, let me also clarify, I mean have an immediate impact, okay? So let's just get that out there. Whereas if you can convince a guy like Emeka Egbuka to come back, you already know what he's capable of. He is going to be a star. And it's not the fact that you think he's going to be a star. No. He is a star right now. You know what you're getting. So that's amazing. And then they did the same thing with TreVeyon Henderson and a couple other guys. You get the point. All these other guys that weren't locks to be first-round picks, they offered them some NIL money. And yeah, it makes total sense to come back. Why wouldn't you? A lot of times these guys enter the draft early is solely due for money. Well, if you can get some money, come back and improve your draft stock and make more money the year after, you'd be an idiot not to take that. And that's what Ohio State's doing. And that's why they've already paid up to allegedly $13 million in this offseason. And we're just getting started. Who knows when it's all said and done what the number's going to get up to. I couldn't even give you a guesstimate. And when I made that video, I believe it was either 2 or 3 days ago, I told you guys, I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. It doesn't bother me. You know why it doesn't bother me? Because they're not doing anything illegal. This is the new college football, like it or not. Keep in mind, I'm not saying this is good for the game whatsoever. I'm just telling you it doesn't bother me. Maybe you feel differently. Let's take a look at this. It's relatively simple. Why did we implement the NIL? So we could pay players. What is Ohio State currently doing? They're paying players. So why should I be mad? That's my view on this. And I knew after I made that video, when everyone else would see the news, people, they'd be having an outrage and they'd be throwing a fit. And well, here we are. This isn't the only one. I'm just showing it to you right here because it's got a bunch of likes. 11 Warriors, this is on Twitter. They made this whole article. Just pretty much, long story short here, I read it. It's super long. I'll break it down to you. Saying how people are mad at Ohio State for paying these guys. You got people saying, oh, well, Ohio State, they're just buying players. They're not even recruiting anymore. And I'm going to go back to this. That's the new college football, like it or not. Me, personally, I ain't going to hold you. I don't necessarily like it because I think it creates an uneven playing field. And I'm not talking about Ohio State directly here. I'm talking about in general. But I can't emphasize this enough. What they're doing, it's not breaking any rules here. And I'm not even going to sit up here and read off the couple of comments where people are mad about this. You know why they're mad, because Ohio State's getting all these great players and their team isn't. And let's just be honest here, that's why people are upset about it. Because I guarantee you, if your favorite team was getting the recruits that Ohio State was getting, you wouldn't be complaining. You wouldn't be mad to the slightest of bits. It's hypocrisy at its finest. Let's just say for say this video, an Indiana fan was mad about Ohio State getting all these recruits in the transfer portal and whatnot. Well, I guarantee you if that fan was getting all the recruits at Indiana, he'd be laughing about it. He'd be on Twitter going, haha, yeah, y'all can be mad all you want, get your money up, not your funny up. He'd be saying, haha, you're just mad that your university doesn't have the money like ours. As I've gotten older in my life and I've slightly matured, I've learned one thing. People love to complain and they love being a victim. And that doesn't go over well with me because I don't complain. I'm a problem solver. And guess what? If you're sitting out here crying and complaining about Ohio State getting all these players, you're a loser. So here's my message to all the people that are crying and complaining about Ohio State dominating the recruiting landscape in college football right now. Shut your mouth. That's all I'm going to say. Just shut up. If Ohio State was cheating or they were doing something crazy, I get it. But the fact this is within the rules and you're still crying and complaining, I just don't have anything more to say to y'all. Take a look at this comment, though. This is from an Ohio State fan. I greatly appreciate this comment. This is coming from Bucknut2000. Shout out to Bucknut. I like that name. Very unique. I donate to the foundation, referring to Ohio State's NIL, I assume here. Just $75 a month. Being in a larger city than most colleges really helps raise the money. If people don't like it, just change the rules. Before the Cotton Bowl, a lot of the players alluded to stay in it for another year. They are the only class since the 90s that didn't win anything or get their gold pants for beating Michigan. Maybe they could cap the pay at, say, $1 million or so per year, plus they already get free food, tuition, etc. I like that comment. It's a very reasonable Ohio State fan, and that's awesome. You're donating or pledging, whatever you want to call it, $75 a month to the foundation. But as far as it goes for a salary cap, that is something we've got to implement. Because without a salary cap or whatever you want to call it, it is a crap show. Jeremy Harbin stated, sometimes when you create an all-star team, things don't always go as planned because they have to mesh together and play for each other. Not saying they won't do that at OSU, but I just don't see them winning the big games or game. I still believe Georgia will win it all next season, and I don't think anyone will come close to beating them. That is something I have thought about a little bit, because remember, Ohio State has not just one, but two of the best running backs in all the nation in Quinshon Judkins and TreVeyon Henderson. I think they're both fantastic, but how's that going to work out with them getting carries? You're talking about two guys that are used to being the star and feature back, and that's just not possible. They both can't be the star and feature back. I hope it works out for the best, but we see this a lot in the NBA when they form these quote-unquote super teams. It just never works out. And I'm not saying Ohio State's forming a super team, but I definitely see what this person's saying in the comment here. As a former athlete myself, I can attest to this. When you have a team that has too many star players and too many star athletes, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't work out. Because on every single team in every single sport, each individual player has a role. And we see it all the time. The best teams in basketball and football are teams that have guys that know their role and they play their role and they don't try to be a superhero. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting perspective. Let me know your thoughts on that down below, but one more comment here. To retain, you didn't mention the most important. 8 starters on a top 5 defense were quote-unquote retained. Most of the guys retained were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounders. This is a great way to build an elite team, pay known commodities. What he's referring to is exactly what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Ohio State is paying to keep these guys from going to the NFL draft. And yeah, I didn't go over every single player because we don't have time for that, but there's a good bit of guys that could have went to the draft that decided to come back because Ohio State's cutting them a nice little check. I don't know how much they're giving these guys to come back, but I assume a guy like Emeka Egbuka is probably getting close to $1 million. I'd assume, let's just say you got a 4th rounder, he's probably getting close to maybe $400K, maybe. I don't know exactly. That's just my guess. Let me know in the comment section what you think it is. Do want to make this video, though, to follow up with this situation. If you're still mad about Ohio State dominating, quit crying, okay? Just quit crying. That's all I got to say. Don't be a sore loser, okay? That's what it is. Ohio State's dominating within the rules, and you're crying and complaining. That's a sore loser. There's many more things I could say. We'll end it off here. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday, but